Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be creating 3 different cards with you guys and sharing some really awesome layering techniques to step up your cards. These are products that really aren't meant to layer together, but when you do, they give stunning results. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'm starting off with the Going Places stamp set, and I really love this one because of the large open areas that are in these hot air balloons. It gives us lots of space to do our ink blending and patterns. So I'm going to go in with a piece of stark white cardstock inside my MISTI, and I'll lay down the 2 hot air balloons in the place where I want them to stamp, kind of flying off the card and building my own scene. Then I'll pick the images up with the MISTI door, and I also like to get rid of any air bubbles, so I'll lift up the stamp image just a little bit and then press out any bubbles that might be underneath the stamp. And this is going to make sure that everything just stamps perfectly and gives a nice crisp image. Then I'll ink these up with a little bit of black ink, and we can stamp it down for a nice crisp and solid outline. I also like to go in with one of these MISTI pressure tools. I find that it just helps to give a nice crisp image. Then I always like to lay down a layer of clear embossing powder on top. I find that kind of seals everything in, protects the lines, and also gives a nice shiny result. So I'll go in and heat set that until it's clear and shiny. Then to do our coloring, I'm going in with the Going Places stencil, and this happens to coordinate with the Going Places lined images, so it'll color these in perfectly without any guesswork. I'll use this on top of my Make Art station, so I can use the magnets and a little bit of tape to mask things off. Then I'm going in with my Simon Hurley Create ink pads and doing a little bit of blending. Here I ended up going in with some of the warmer tones, so yellow, orange, red, and purple to blend this in. Now, for this technique, I like to go in with a little bit of a lighter hand during this layer, just laying down a little bit of that color, but not trying to get it super intense. This will be kind of prevalent in a little bit when we start doing our pattern building, because we're going to layer it up with these colors. You can see just how beautifully these colors blend together, and lately I've been loving this warmer blend of colors. I think it looks just beautiful. So once that's all done, I'm going to then go in with another stencil. Here I'm using the sweater weather stencil, but you can use anything with kind of a small print design like this. I'm going to line that up over top of my hot air balloon exactly where I want it to be, and then I'll lay down my magnets. Once again, I'm keeping down the Going Places stencil though, so it's still going to mask off the hot air balloon from the rest of the card. Then I'll go in with the exact same colors, starting off with a little bit of yellow, shooting star, and I'm going to make it darker than before. So apply lots of ink by swiping it back and forth on your blending tool, and then add it down onto your card and really get that through the stencil and press it down to get a nice darker color. Since it's laying on top of the other colors, it'll make it a little bit darker. So there you can see that pattern. I really love how it looks, but I want to add a little bit more. So I'm going to shift my stencil. You can see that there's a larger kind of diamond shape and there's also a smaller one. I'm going to place the larger one over the smaller version that we've already stenciled, and it's going to create kind of a cool double pattern, almost looking like a kaleidoscope. It's super cool. So be sure to try this with any other stencils you have. Each stencil can kind of shift differently and create some really cool patterns. So try it out. So then I'm going again in with the same exact colors of ink, making it a little bit darker over top to get that kind of tone on tone effect. Once that's all complete, we get the final reveal. So I'm going to lift off these magnets here, and I just love how that looks. The cool double shift of the pattern on top of the colors that we've already created is just simply stunning. I love how easy it is too to use the Going Places stencil to color in these hot air balloons, and I'll do the same thing with this little balloon too. Just line things up, and then we can start our blending over top. Here I'm using a little bit of yellow, greens, and blues to give kind of a cooler contrast to this balloon. So I'm going to add my colors in, again doing the same exact blending technique where I don't add too much ink down because we're going to do some layering with a stencil this time as well. So once I'm all finished with the blending here, I can then go in with whatever stencil I want to use. Here I'm using a little bit of a larger scale pattern, but I still love this one. It's called Stained Glass, and it's got lots of detail in there as well. So I'm going to go in again with the exact same colors and blend over top. I also do want to mention during this part that the pressure is important, but it's also important what kind of cardstock you use. Here I'm using my stark white cardstock, which I find takes lots of ink well, but some cardstocks have kind of a coating and will resist a second layer of ink. So if you're not having the best results, try switching up the cardstock that you use. Next, I'm going to go in and color in those baskets with a little bit of Gur, which is brown ink as well. And I didn't have to move the stencil at all. That's lined up perfectly so I can get the basket at once. Now next I'm going to use this stencil. This is the rectangle blend stencil, and it's perfectly sized to fit with the stamping foam. I'm also going to use the scene maker stencil. I'm bringing out a lot of stencils here, but the rectangle blend stencil is going to mask off a smaller rectangle on the card. It's going to create kind of a cool focal point on the center of the card. And then the scene maker stencil I'm going to use to create clouds in the background. So it's got one edge on it that can create these really beautiful clouds. And I'm going in with a little bit of light blue, breakup blue, and I'm going to go in and do these clouds. I'm just going to blend a little bit on the edge and continue to kind of move and shift the stencil upward on the card to create a whole array of different shapes and sizes of clouds. That's what I love about this stencil, is you can really move things around and get different clouds every time. Now after I'm done with that, I'm going to go in from the edge and also blend on a little bit of breakup blue there. This is going to make it so that the edge is a little bit darker and it'll draw your eye to the brighter center of the card as well. So once I lift off that rectangle blend stencil, you'll see this really beautiful rectangle of color in the center, but it leaves the border kind of white. It's almost like we matted off a different layer there, but it's all one layer. I think it's super cool, and I love that rectangle blend stencil. Next, I'm going to go in with this grid image that's also in the Going Places stamp set and stamp it down right over top of the baskets. It just adds a slight little detail to them that I really like to kind of finish off the rest of these images. It's really fun. So once that's all complete, we can then go in with our sentiment. And for the sentiment today, I'm going to stamp it on some black cardstock with a little bit of Versamark ink to do some heat embossing. I'll throw over a layer of white embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat emboss that, and I like to cut it out as well. So I'm going in with my Fiskars Spring Assist scissors, and I'm just going to cut right around that, leaving a little bit of a black border. I like to do this because getting closer to that sentiment will allow you to see more of the design that you've created on the card. I'll add that down with a little bit of foam tape, and I love how that card finishes off. All of that fun stencil layering gives you a bunch of different patterns and some really awesome interest on the card. Alright, for this next card, I'm going to go in with my mint tape. This is the 4-inch mint tape, and I love it for masking off sections of the card because there's a lot on the roll, so I don't have to feel like I'm wasting it, but it's also really great at masking things off and not having anything leak underneath. I'm going to place this down onto my card and give it some good pressure and kind of mask off a stripe that's diagonal on the center of my card here. So give that good pressure on the edges like I had mentioned, and then I'm going to go in and do a little bit of ink blending. Here I'm going in with a couple of my Simon Hurley Create colors, but this time instead of kind of blending a lighter color right away, I want to go in and lay down a bunch of color and make it really vibrant and saturated. My goal here is to get a nice blend, but also lay down tons of color. So I started off with a little bit of Shooting Star, and then I'm going into Prom Queen, and one tip I have is to go back and forth between colors as well. So after I laid down that darker color, I went back in, and you can see that they blend together beautifully with just a little bit of help. Sometimes when you go in from a lighter color to a super darker color, it might need a little bit of assistance. But I'm creating kind of a rainbow blend here by going in with blues and greens to finish it off with the edge there. Then I'm going to go in with this charming background stamp. I love the hearts and how they form this kind of beautiful design on this background stamp. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of water, mist this down so it gets a nice fine mist over top the whole stamp. We don't want to flood it, but it just has a nice fine mist so that we're still going to capture all the detail of the design. Then I'm going to press it down, water side facing down onto my design, and it's going to react and lift off some of that ink. So you can see a little bit of the design here, but I sped up the heating portion. And when I brought a heat tool to it, it really dries it and also intensifies the design and also stops it from bleeding with all that water. But you can just see in that short amount of time as I was heat setting that, the design really comes out and really shows, which is just beautiful. Now, even with that little bit of water that we used and that ink that we applied, it didn't bleed at all and it didn't rip my cardstock. So I really love the mint tape for that. Now, after I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with an image. Now here I'm using the lovely Lantana Stamp Set. I love this one for the different sentiments that it has and the detailed flowers that it has in it. I'm using this larger single detail Lantana flower, and I'm going to stamp it down onto my stark white cardstock with a little bit of black ink. And again, no surprise here, I'm going to cover it with a little bit of clear embossing powder and heat set it for a nice clear shine. Again, I just love how that finishes off the images and gives a nice solid black look to it. So once that's complete, I can then go in and cut that out and add it down onto my card. I kept it simple with black and white and didn't want to color it in because the color is in the background and I wanted to really let that shine. Now to finish it off with a sentiment, I like to go in and just test out different sentiments from the clear sheet without pulling them off of the stamp set. I found that I loved this one that says "You are so much stronger than you think" from that lovely Lantana Stamp Set, and I'm going to stamp it down using my Misty stamping tool to make sure that it's perfect alignment. I'm using a little bit of black ink, and good thing I used the Misty here because I ended up stamping it several times to make sure it was nice and crisp and dark. Once that's all complete, I can pull that out of my Misty, and I love how it turned out. That really nice solid black sentiment, as well as the black and white image with that beautifully colored and layered background is what I love about this card. Now let's finish it off with one more layering technique. I'm starting off with a card base that is this beautiful tomato soup color from Gina K, and then I'm going to go in with the bubble wrap stencil from Simon Hurley Create. For this first layer, I'm going in with a little bit of red ink. This one happens to be Love Struck, and I'm going to just blend that on for a nice tone-on-tone effect on this reddish-orange cardstock. Once that's all complete, I can then lift this off, and you'll see that really nice, beautiful red polka dot layer that we have there. I love that kind of tone-on-tone effect when we're going for a more simple background. But now to step it up one more layer, I'm going to go back in with that bubble wrap stencil and I'm shifting it again. But this time it's really simple. I'm just shifting it so that the new polka dots are right in between the polka dots that we just did to kind of finish off and complete the pattern. This time though, I'm going to use a little bit of Bee Sting Lunar paste to add a little bit of metallic shine to the tone-on-tone effect. So I'm going in on a piece of plastic and I'm going to just lay down a layer of this lunar paste. This will act as kind of a palette, and then I'm going to go in with my blending brush and lift the lunar paste off and then stencil it right through. Here you can already see that beautiful paint-like shine that this lunar paste is going to add to the background to really step it up and give a beautiful effect. So once I'm done kind of coloring everything in, I'll lift off this stencil and you can see that beautiful shine already in between those red polka dots that we've created. So to clean everything off, I'm going to just use a little bit of water. I'm going to clean off the Make Art station just really simply before anything dries by wiping it off. And then to clean everything else off, I'm going to use a little bit of paper towel. You're going to want to clean the stencil and everything right away. And I also like to add a little bit of water to that blending brush and then wipe it off until it is completely clear from any of the paste there. And I also recommend having a second set just for these kind of pastes, just in case if it hardens up on there. Next for the focal image, I'm going in with the Bold Blossoms background stamp. Now this is originally a Slimline stamp, which is really fun, but it's also a peel apart background, meaning that there are some cuts in the design where you can peel apart images and use these as focal point stamps, which is what I'm doing today. I've lined up some of these images in kind of a line, which is going to create a beautiful border across my card. Then I can stamp it down using a little bit of black ink. I'm going to kind of stamp it down in the center of my card, again creating a line across the card. Now it doesn't have to be a perfect line, you can see that it's quite wavy, that's just going to add some nice detail to it. And then I'll stamp down that nice leaf to finish off the line. Once that's all done, we can go in and do a little bit of coloring. Here I'm using the Bold Blossoms layering stencil, which is meant to do the whole layering stamp at once, but instead I'm just going to mask off certain flowers and leaves that I want to use and do each one separately. So here I've masked off the smallest flower and I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow and then I'm adding just a tiny bit of pink and red ink to the center using one of these little detail blending tools. I really like these to go in and add a little bit of depth and dimension to something as small as these flowers. I'll lift off that first one and I just love how easy it is to color in these lines with coordinating stencils like this. Then I'm going to move it around to do the biggest flower there, and I'm going to follow the same steps by masking off any other flowers that I don't want, and then adding a little bit of yellow ink and then some pink ink to the center using one of the detail blending tools. When I'm adding color to the center, I like to start off lighter and kind of really blend it out a little bit to the edges, and then go right in the center, dark and heavy with lots of that color of ink to add lots of shadow to it. It really brings that flower to life, and I love the effect. Next, I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves, just kind of moving it around and taping things off so that I can color in those leaves super easily. Masking off these areas and using the stencil a little bit creatively goes a long way, and it really helps you get a little bit of extra bang for your buck. So if you have other layering stencils and you're just using certain images, just try to mask things off and get your most money's worth out of your stencil, because this saved a ton of time and made it super easy to color in even these single images. Now, since I created that fun little border, I wanted to go across the card and cut it out as well, so that we can put a different color at the top. So here I'm going in with my Fiskars Spring Assist scissors, which make it really easy to go along and fussy cut these out, leaving a little bit of a white border around the edge. Now then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm again going to use the sentiment from the lovely Lantana Stamp Set, and this one just says, "I appreciate you so much." I added everything together, and I love how that layered background adds a little bit of shine there, and nobody will know how easy it was to color in those beautiful flowers on the center of our card. Well, except for all of you guys. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed the cards I created in today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know your favorite card in the comments down below. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!